Well, faith in American institutions is at an all-time low. We've told you this for years now. In a recent NBC News Wall Street Journal poll, just 16% of the public said they had a great deal or quite a bit of confidence in the federal government. 16%. Large corporations fared even worse. Just 13% of Americans expressed confidence in them. Only 19% said they had some faith in the national news media. Even the Supreme Court, once seen as irreproachable above politics, has the trust of only about a third of the American public. In a new book, Charles Lewis, founder of the Center for Public Integrity, diagnoses the problem this way, writing this: "My career in journalism has coincided with a tragic period in American history, one in which falsehood has increasingly come to dominate our public discourse, and in which the bedrock of values of honesty, transparency, accountability, and integrity we once took for granted have been steadily eroding." Well, joining me now is Charles Lewis, a very depressing but excellent book that he has here called 935 Lies. Mr. Lewis, good morning to you, sir.
Good morning.
Well, it is this serial part of lies, and obviously whenever we have this discussion about the the public losing faith in institutions, we always say it began with the Vietnam War, and it's been a steady erosion with maybe a tick up or down, tick up every once in a while, but it's been a steady erosion over that 45-year period.
Well, it has. I mean, I think it even may have gone back a little earlier when we were told there were 200 communists in the State Department. We found out there actually wasn't a single one back in the early 50s. But yeah, we've had a problem here. And I notice your segment is called Truth and Consequences. I would call it No Truth and No Consequences. The polls go up and down, but actually the misrepresentations continue steadily. And I think one of the reasons for cynicism maybe and lack of voter turnout, and especially on midterm elections, things like that, is because of this. I think people feel that people can get away with it, essentially, and for the most part, they do. Well,
it does seem that way. I mean, you just look at now, I mean, you know, congressional investigators, they twist their investigations for partisan gain now. There doesn't seem to, you know, there used to be at least some, when it came to Congress, there used to be at least some wall there that there was an attempt, at least by the investigators, to play it straight.
No, exactly. I think as a journalist myself, I think I covered one, and I know of one perjury conviction in like 40 years, and it was a $2,000 fine, and the person convicted defiantly said he had nothing to be ashamed of, and his friends paid the fine later that day from their pockets, from their wallets. Welcome to Washington. I mean, that's sort of what happens here.
So you sort of you see it as sort of two big causes of this renewed sort of lack of faith, if you want to call it that, renewed lack of faith, and rather than renewed faith. One is the Iraq War. Talk about it.
Well, I mean, you know, I had a group of researchers. We looked for 2.5 years at every statement made by the president then, George W. Bush, and 7 other of his top people, and we looked at it closely, and we counted 935 false and erroneous statements, and that's basically why the book is called 935 Lies. These were flat assertions that there was weapons of mass destruction, and very authoritative, even saying it might happen within a day or hours even, and of course it all turned out not to be true. All the memoirs of the folks involved say we had bad intelligence, failing to mention that they helped to find as much intelligence as they could to say those points.
They were searching for the bad intelligence, essentially.
They were. Essentially, they were, yeah.
And, you know, the other part of this talks about sort of the neutering of the media. And you seem to make the case that lawsuits, that the big corporation that own all of the major media entities, are so fearful now that a few successful lawsuits in the 80s, one having to do with tobacco in particular, but those successful lawsuits in general have cowed media at all levels. Do you continue to make that case?
Well, yeah, I think, there's no better case than tobacco. 60 years of the media from the 50s on having trouble telling that story. Tens of billions of dollars in advertising going to the media. I worked at a TV network, and as we all know, in the 90s, 3 different stories at 2 different networks were blocked by the networks. But that lawsuits really only relate to corporations. I think in terms of government, it has to do with access and the moth and the flame getting close to access, and then you kind of don't want to lose your sources, et cetera. All those other dynamics kick in. It's not, but with corporations, there's also repercussions in terms of litigation.
All right, Charles Lewis, this is a discussion I'd like to continue, but I've got a clock issue, the book 935 Lies. You noted that it was about the Iraq Wars where you got the title, but you dig into a lot of things here, including getting after the media as well. Mr. Lewis, thank you very much.